Yo, hey, can we let that intro roll just a little bit more? I was just feeling the vibe. Oh, good morning across the domain, and welcome to Lotus. Lotus, linking others to unify Shrine. I am your host today, Jerome, aka Lollipop, Alpha Root Temple number 145 out of Oasis of Columbus, Desert of Georgia. Georgia strong, Georgia strong. Now, I will shout out my co-hosts since they're in their absence and the tech is in my ear telling me that I need to do this here. See, they want to put it up on the screen and things. Let's command just Courtney Gurley. She happens to be over in the beach somewhere on a cruise somewhere enjoying herself. So she said she's having fun, but we're going to have some fun right here today. So with that being said, we're going to take and just jump right into things and stuff. Let you all know that today's show is being brought to you by none other than the Imperial Parade, as well as the Imperial Student Aid. So the Imperial Parade is going to be, it's a Starlight Parade, which is going to be that night. Lineup starts at 4 o'clock. Parade steps off at 6. We got to look. Today is the 24th. So you only have a few more days in order to register to be in the parade. July the 1st. July the 1st is the deadline in order to be in the parade. Now, you see the QR scope. All right. So we're also being sponsored by the Imperial Party that has now been changed from Thursday night to Tuesday night. And remember, this time it is non-regale. So you can leave your fez and collar in your rooms, but we want you to take and dress to impress. All right. It's a celebration of excellence. Celebrate what we've been doing over the year and things. All right. All right. Now, remember, those that are participating in student aid, those that are having money for student aid, you need to be there 30 minutes prior to show going live. The show goes live at 12. So you need to be there no later than 11:29. All right, 11:29. So the checks are going to be presented by only 2 people from your department. So just be there 11:29 in order to present your funds. Now, when we're going to get to the good part, for those that came here for the purpose of finding out what's going on in our domain, we have none other than the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Honorable Eric R. Myers, the 45th Imperial Potentate of the Imperial Council, Ancient Egyptian Arabic, Noble Mystic Shrine, Incorporated, Northern Southern in its jurisdiction. Good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. How's it going?
It's going well. I want to say, first and foremost, I know that you are at the headquarters. You got the summer dive in meeting going on. You're taking care of the business at hand of the Imperial Council. So we want to thank you for taking your time out in order to come in and talk to us this morning and things.
Absolutely. It is indeed my pleasure because, as I've said on many occasions, I work for the nobles and daughters, okay? And it is my distinct honor and pleasure, and I like to characterize myself as the 45th Imperial Potentate of the planet Earth.
All right, the planet Earth, okay? All right, now, before we dive into these questions, we got a couple ground rules. Now, during this session here, there will be no derogatory questions or comments. We're going to attack, no attacks on the individual, but just the issues at hand. No personal questions about nobody's personal life. The personal life don't have anything to do with the business at hand, and no repetitive questions or comments. But most of all, we are of noble birth, so we're going to be respectful of each other. All right. Now, with that being said, let's jump right into it because we already know why we're here, some of the burning questions and stuff. So the first question out the box is going to be, will the Imperial session dates ever be changed in order to accommodate those that are in education, like those down in the South or wherever? If it does change, can it be changed or will it be changed?
Okay. We've actually had this question discussed in previous dive-in meetings. The dates for the session now are set by Constitution. Okay. So if in fact, if there ever was to be a change, it would have to be a constitutional change voted on by the body. And usually when you have a constitutional change, it'll take anywhere from 2/3 or 3/4 of the majority of the voting members. The problem comes in is this. When you're talking about those individuals going to school across the domain, different schools start at different times of the year. So, for example, in Florida, I think the schools start usually like the second week of August. And then some other schools may start later on in the month or earlier on in the month. So there's no standardized time for schools. So that's always going to be a problem. So if you move it from the present date rather, to another date, it's going to impact somebody else. Okay. So more than likely, from a practical standpoint, I don't think it's going to be able to be changed.
Okay. Understand. All right. Next question. All right. So why the change of student aid and the ball? Those that attend student aid won't have time in order to prepare for the parade and stuff. So,
all right, we got a two-part question though. So let's deal with the first part first.
Okay.
Traditionally, the Imperial Potentate ball was on the Thursday after the session closed. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we looked at it under my administration to say we got very low attendance. Well, one of the reasons that we found is that a lot of nobles and daughters start leaving the session on Wednesday after the parade for whatever reason, even though the session is still going on. So traditionally, when the business closed on Thursday at noon, nobles and daughters were gone. So it was only those remaining people who were there that actually attended the Imperial Potentate, Imperial Commander's ball.
Right.
From a financial side, because of that, I can give you an example. In St. Louis, we lost over $30,000 on the Imperial Ball because we have contractual commitments, we have food commitments, and nobles and daughters were not coming to the ball. So I posed the question out to the domain. What would it take for nobles and daughters to be more interested in attending this function? And I got two answers. One, move it to another day, and two, make it non-regale. So, listening to the members, we heard you. So the dive-in discussed it in terms of moving our schedule around. And that's really all we did, move the schedule around. So we moved the ball from Thursday night to Tuesday night. And the second part was make it non-regale, because nobles and daughters were saying, hey, we're tired of wearing the white, we're tired of being all dressed up, all knotted up all the time. We want to relax, we want to have fun. Okay? So by making it non-regale, we moved it from the quote unquote traditional ball to now it is a party. It is a celebration of excellence for our nobles and daughters. So that way you can dress down, dress in your noble and daughter regalia, and come out and have a good time. So that's how you're able to have a quote unquote non-regale ball. So we moved it to Tuesday, okay? And then we made another change just by moving the student aid from that Tuesday to Wednesday, because traditionally our parade is on Wednesday, and Wednesday is a non-business day. Normally we have your parade during the day. Tampa, we're having the parade's twilight parade, the 6 p.m. kickoff. So since you have the parade as a 6 p.m. kickoff, you're able to move the student aid to 12 o'clock on the Wednesday to accommodate that. Now, here's what we found. By moving the function from Thursday to Tuesday, we looked at the numbers here while we were in Memphis at the Diamond meeting. Last year in St. Louis, we had approximately total ticket sales 515. That's all the people that attended. This year, having moved it to Tuesday, non-regale, right now we're at 675 and climbing. Okay, so the response has been overwhelming. This is a function and activity that we want the nobles and daughters to participate in and you're actually doing that. In terms of the preparation, I think I had a question as to individuals who want to attend the student aid, but also attend the parade. Well, for me, I look at it logistically. You got a choice whether you want to go to student aid or not. We want you to come and participate. So if you are, example, let's say you're a clown or some other participant that you need to try to get dressed, student aid is scheduled to end by 2 o'clock. The actual parade does not start until 6 p.m., even though the lineup begins at 4. So you still have that window of time that you can leave student aid, get wherever you need to go to participate. Imperial Council is always flowing. There are always things going on, multiple overlapping things. So it's all a matter of how you participate and utilize your time.
Okay. All right. Understandable. So one audience, those that started in the audience and stuff, we wanted you all to take in and put your questions in the chat pane. This is your opportunity. We have the man here right now in order to ask any questions that you may have and things going on. All right. So our next question is, all right, so I've submitted my registration, but I have not heard back about my room, nor have I received my badge. What's going on with that?
All right. We are having an overwhelming response to the Tampa session, and I'm proud because I am from Tampa. So registrations, rooms are still being processed. Our hotels are selling out. For example, JW Marriott Waterside, Embassy Suites, the Westin Hotel, Home to Suites, Hyatt House, sold out. So the staff is still in the process of processing all of those registrations and all of those room requests. So I just ask that you be patient in terms of getting that information back to you. And you can always still contact the Memphis office to do a follow-up. Badges will not be mailed out this year as they have done in previous years. For those folks who came to the St. Louis convention last year, and we had that debacle, as I call it, people waiting in line for badges and registration. Okay, we have now contracted an on-site company. Those badges will be distributed at kiosks in the vending area. So your badges will be done on site. You will be given information as to how to access that information when you appear on site to get your badge registration. What that does also effectively is speed up the process, and it saves you, nobles and daughters, a bunch of money because now we don't have to mail all that out in terms of mailing costs. We're trying to be more efficient and more responsive to the needs of the nobles and daughters.
That's also going to help those that got these forgetful minds that left their badges at home or just don't remember where they put their badges at, so they don't have to pay that extra fee to have it printed and reprinted and stuff. I understand. Well, I got a question I need to go back to for my personal edification regarding the balls. One, I know we said you're having a non-regaled at Imperial. Will we be able to have non-regaled at our local temples and courts?
You can have a non-regale event. Okay, let me explain it this way. If you're having your event characterized as a ball, it must be regaled. Okay. If you're having the same event, but you characterize it as a dance, a cabaret, a social event, it can be non-regale. It's really just the nomenclature of how you advertise it. If it's characterized as the Potentate's Ball, Commander's Ball, it's regale. But if you send your information out that your temple or court is having a cabaret, some type of party, non-regale.
Okay. All right. I see you over there writing, taking notes and stuff over there. You taking notes on what I'm doing over here or something?
Absolutely. My background, I'm a lawyer. Prior judge, okay?
Let me straighten my collar up and stuff. And I got my preacher's robe in the room now.
Not a problem.
All right, so I hear that we have a question from the audience. Let's see. What is that? All right. So it's from a Facebook user. What is the parade route? Traffic is usually crazy around that area unless you have escorts to get you from point A to point B.
All right. In past years, that parade route is going to be in Tampa, of course. The lineup will be what's called Nucio Parkway. That's in downtown Tampa. It's an area that runs from downtown Tampa going into a part of town called Ybor City. It's spelled Y-B-O-R. Sometimes people call it Ybor, but it's actually Ybor City. And that is 7th Avenue. Okay. So it'll be a straight, direct route, straight down Ybor City, 7th Avenue, with Nucio Parkway being the lineup. I believe there will be some bus transportation from the hotel area. City of Tampa is working with us in terms of transporting individuals to the parade route. But let me also say this to you. There is a free trolley line that runs through the convention area. If you've been to Tampa, where the Tampa Convention Center is, the Embassy Suite Hotel is, right outside the Embassy Suite, there's a stop for that trolley line. It's a yellow trolley. That yellow trolley runs all the way down into Ybor City. And I think the line is somewhere off of 8th Avenue, which is like one block over from the parade route. That is a free trolley that the nobles and daughters can get in on to go down to that parade route.
Okay. And as y'all saw that the parade route, it was put it on the screen, but also we're going to take and send that parade route out to everybody real soon. So if you haven't already received it already, we will be getting it out to you. So got another question from the audience. All right, this is from Michael Youngblood. Are we doing something to oppose Republican candidate Ron DeSantis' racial views concerning Black history in Florida school system? And along those lines, can you also expound on our relationship with the NAACP in Florida?
Okay. Well, let me do the second part first. Okay.
Okay.
We have committed relationship with the National NAACP and the NAACP out of the state of Florida. Okay. This Imperial Council is dedicated to the preservation of the rights that we have as African Americans. Okay. Social issues are always going to be abounding. Okay. I live in Florida. I am not a personal fan of the elected Republican governor out of the state of Florida. He is who he is. He tells you who he is by what he does. Okay. The situation that we have in Florida is really, from the Imperial Council standpoint, it's a contractual situation. We set our conventions out 4 or 5 years ahead of time. Okay, so we sign our contracts to go to particular cities during those time frames. Okay, so some questions that we've had in the past were because of what's going on with the Republican governor and the things that he's saying. Should we now pull our convention out? And the answer to that question is no. Okay, because if we were to do that, we would be in breach of our contract with the hotels, with the city, and all the other related partners that we have. And we cannot stand that financial hit. Okay. I think I have posted some statements indicating that we are condemning the statements of racial disparity by that particular governor. And I think we can do better by coming to the city of Tampa and any other city for that fact, excuse me, to show the solidarity that we have for the individuals who live there and for Black people as a whole. But from a purely legal, contractual standpoint, it's not feasible for us to do this. There are always going to be individuals who are going to espouse, hatred in their views, but that does not and should not deter what we do as an organization.
Okay. All right. Thank you on that. All right, so let's go back to the questions here. Now, remember, you all, this is your opportunity in order to ask your questions. Next question. Do you think that we will have a well-oiled organization with split departments? We having the nobles having the same departments, the daughters having the mirror the same department.
Okay. The question says, what do I think? So I guess I have to take this from a personal standpoint. We have always had, when I say we in the Imperial Council and Imperial Court have had joint departments. I think it's better that we have joint departments because our goal should be the same in terms of servicing our members and servicing the community at large. Okay. When you have these quote unquote split departments, I think it dilutes the message. Let me give you an example. The original, we have an HBCU department, okay? And we have nobles and daughters working within that HBCU department jointly. And the goal is to service individuals who wish to attend, and then we are supporting HBCU departments. So now if you have a split department of nobles on one side, daughters on the other side, and the ultimate goal is to still service the individual students going to those HBCUs, it dilutes the product. Okay. So I would think it's the better practice where we can, all right, to have joint departments, nobles and daughters working in harmony toward a respective goal. Now, is it feasible that you might have some departments who are separate? Yes. Okay. But logistically, in my personal humble opinion, the joint departments are better, and I think they can operate better as long as you have that mutual cooperation on both sides, knowing that the ultimate goal is to service the individuals or the groups that you're intending to do.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So thank you. So next question we have here is will there be a resolution with the Imperial Council and Imperial Court prior to session, as well as to add on to that a little bit, did the daughters receive their audit?
Presently, the daughters are in the process of having that audit. Let me do the second part first. They're having that audit. The daughters' internal auditor team will be coming to Memphis, okay, in order to do the audit to conduct that business. So that's ongoing. In terms of a quote-unquote resolution, the Imperial Council dive in and the Imperial Court dive in are still in an ongoing negotiation and trying to resolve matters. Whether or not there will be a quote-unquote final resolution before we get to the session, I really cannot say. I am hopeful. The Imperial Council dive in did present some proposals to the Imperial Court dive in terms of addressing some of those matters. Those matters were not finalized, but the door remains open. I am committed to trying to resolve all matters that we can. You know, we can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. And it's a matter of compromise, but with the ultimate goal of making sure that we have a unified Imperial Council and Imperial Court. So I am hopeful that we can reach some type of resolution.
Okay, all right. Sorry. So we got another question from the audience, and it is there any chance session will take place in the desert of Texas?
Is there any chance? I would say yes. The reason being is that any desert has the opportunity to bid on the Imperial Council session for future years. You have to contact the Imperial Convention Department, let them know your interest. I would say you should potentially contact your local Chamber of Commerce, convention center in your city to try to show your interest that you want the Imperial Council to come, put forth the package, because we have certain guidelines and certain things that we ask for in terms of our operations. So the answer is yes, you got to bid, because a lot of times people ask, well, why do we tend to go to the same cities, you know, multiple times? And again, it's really two parts. One, you don't have deserts actually bidding for the session. Okay, we don't know you wanted the session to come to your city unless somebody steps up. You know, deputy deserts, deputy of and for nobles and daughters, and for example in Texas. Okay, Texas, you want the convention? Hey, get with your deputies and put together packages, come to us and say, hey, we want you to come to Texas, wherever it is in Texas or any other state. Okay, and then the other side to that is the financial aspect. Can you host this Imperial Council in terms of what it is that you can offer for the Imperial Council to come to your desert. Okay, so the answer to Texas and any other state. You want us to come, you let us know, because as I say, we bid 4 or 5 years ahead.
Okay, all right. Great. These are questions, are some good questions and stuff. Thank you, Imperial Potentate. What we got next? Next question is from. We see that some temples and courts have a working relationship with mainstream shriners, the ancient Arabic order known as Mr. Shrine. Will there be something put out about mutual recognition with mainstream Shriners?
Well, let me approach it this way. I'm really at a conundrum, if you will, with regard to this quote unquote mutual recognition. As the Imperial Potentate of this organization, I really don't need another organization to quote unquote recognize the legitimacy of my organization. In terms of cooperating, as you will, with mainstream, if you want to call it that, I have no problem with the cooperation. I live in Tampa, Florida. My temple is Harem Temple number 23. The quote unquote white Shriners is Egypt Temple. Okay, we have a good ongoing working relationship with that temple. Okay, and I'm sure there are some other temples and courts across the domain that do also. I don't think necessarily you have to have a mutual recognition as long as individuals are participating with one another, recognizing one another in their capacity to operate, because ultimately it's all about service for me on both sides of the fence. Do we need some written document to say that we can do certain things? I don't necessarily believe that myself, but I'm only one individual. But as long as nobles and daughters are participating, cooperating, I have no problem with
Okay, all right, appreciate it. All right, artists, we understand that the Imperial Potentate is up in Memphis handling business and stuff. So we only going to ask a few more questions, about 2 or 3 more questions. So if you got a burning question, shoot it in real quick. All right, so here we go from Paris Rutledge, Noble Hook. Is there a chance that Atlanta will eventually be put back in rotation?
Absolutely. Okay. We did not go to Atlanta because of the COVID situation. Okay. And the discussion was had actually to try to put Atlanta back into the rotation for 2025. And we approached Atlanta, but for the time frame that we have our convention, which is of course the 3rd Monday in August, we could not get the convention center, we could not get certain hotels because they were already having commitments from other conventions. So the answer is yes. Noble daughters like going to Atlanta. I like going to Atlanta. We have a good turnout. It's just a matter of, as I stated previously, can we get hotel space, convention center space during those particular years? Okay. As of right now, we're going to Tampa in 2023. We're going to New Orleans in 24. And we're going back to New Orleans in 25, and then back to Tampa in 26. Going forward in 27, we've got certain bids in, I know, from, I believe, Cleveland, maybe Indianapolis, or some other cities going forward. So those cities like Atlanta or Texas, anybody else that are interested, I think Kansas City is making bid for future years. It's 27 forward. Okay. So Atlanta, get your bid in. Texas, get your bid in.
All right, we'll work. ATL, baby, ATL. Yeah, George Strong. I'll throw that out there. This will come from Noah Anthony Johnson. AJ out of the number 23 asks, do you think that all temple leadership teams should attend the Imperial creation to reacclimate themselves to doing in-person creations?
Yes, but do not wait till the one time a year that the Imperial Council meets to reacclimate yourself in terms of doing in-person creation. All right. You should do that if you have a creation team within your temple or court. Then meet on a local basis and practice. Go over the material, go over the procedures in order to have a smooth creation. But coming to Imperial Council can only enhance that, because you have the opportunity to meet with other temples and courts around the domain to get instruction and get training. Okay, I would say just don't wait till the Imperial session in order to do that. It should be an ongoing learning process. That's something I think that we don't do as nobles and daughters in terms of our procedures. Hey, you have the procedures there. You have your manuals. You have your books. Go ahead and refresh yourself. I periodically, I go back. I read my Constitution. I read my bylaws. I read my policies and procedures, because the information is there, and you're not going to know it and retain it all at once. You know, we have this adage, you know, if you want to hide something from Black people, put it in a book. Well, the books are there for us to have this ongoing exchange of ideas and information. But yes, to the question, come to the Imperial Council to reacclimate yourself in order to do your training for your creations, but also work on that during the course of the year by having that continuing training.
Okay, thank you. Now, Imperial Potentate, I want to thank you for taking your time out for coming sitting down with us. Do you have any final thoughts before we allow you to dismiss yourself?
Absolutely. Again, thank you for the opportunity to speak to the nobles and daughters. Okay, nobles and daughters, I want you to understand that this Imperial Council, this Imperial Court, this is your organization. Okay? You have the right to participate in your organization, the right to ask questions of your leadership. Okay, we ask you for your vote in order to put us into these positions. We are responsible to and accountable to for you. Ask questions, challenge leadership, even myself. You have questions of me? Ask me. I have no problem. If I can answer the question, I'll answer it. If I tell you I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. But then my job is then to go out and try to find an answer for you. Participate in your organization. I want to encourage nobles and daughters to come to Tampa. I think last time we were there was 2016. The city has changed drastically. There are more hotels, more shops, more restaurants, more things to do. And we're going hard to make sure that you have a good time. Our numbers are bearing that out. As I said previously, hotels are being sold out. Our actual numbers of people who are coming is off the chain. Okay. I want to encourage you again, as I said, nobles and daughters, participate in your organization, have a good time, but do not forget the mission. Go back and ask yourself, why did I join this organization? And hopefully that answer is you joined the organization to serve, to make it better for those who came before you and those that you are going to go out in front of. Okay. We have a responsibility to ourselves, responsibility to our members. So let's be about the business of being about the work.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you. Once again, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And until next time, we'll talk to you later. Okay, sir? All right. Now, there you have it. You had the opportunity to ask those burning questions to the Imperial Potentate. Also, stay tuned, because there will be a state of the domain coming out real soon from the Imperial Potentate that he'll be talking about some other things that's coming up or coming out. But remember, today's show is being brought to you by the Imperial Parade, the Imperial Party Ball, a celebration of excellence that's going down Tuesday, August the 22nd at 8 p.m. to 12 at the JW Marriott. We have never stayed in this hotel here before, so this is a new hotel that's in between the Marriott waterfront and the Embassy Suites. That's coming. So it's a nice hotel. It's new. Also, July the 1st is the last day to have your monies into Imperial Session. So if you are a temple, court, oasis, desert, class, fraternity, or sorority that would like to donate to student aid, be there by 11:29 on that Wednesday in order to to make your donations. Only 2 people will be going up on the stage in order to do the presentation. Now, like before, when your whole class was going up. So with that being said, we pray that today's show has been insightful. Hopefully it's been fruitful through being respectful and as well as informative. But before we go, we're going to do a rep your set, rep your temple, your court, your oasis, your desert. Come on, your class. Yeah, bring your classes on too. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's see who we got. Honorary Past Commander Stephanie Harbison. We have Yolanda. Good morning, daughter Yolanda Williams, Nabar Court, Oasis of Atlanta, Desert of Georgia. Alejandra, good morning. First Lieutenant Magnus Court 100, Oasis of Alexandria, Desert of Virginia, Team IMR, yeah. Jersey girl, good morning, daughter Brenda. Stuber Allen, out of Kikuziki Court 202, Oasis of Freeport, Desert of Bahamas. How to spell Oasis now? Wendy Farrer, good morning, daughter Wendy Farrer. Past Commanders, Barack Court number 233, Oasis of Hesper, Desert of Georgia. Georgia strong, baby, Georgia strong. Facebook user, good morning, domain First Lieutenant J. Smith, Arabia Court number 205, Oasis of Jacksonville, Desert of Florida. We are Florida. Yeah, Duval. Good morning, all illustrious potentate from Platter Temple, number 15, New Orleans. Oh, Cornelia Green Jr. Thank you, sir. Pamela Holmes, greetings from the desert for the Oasis. Pamela J. Holmes, Oasis of Madison, Desert of Wisconsin. Salam, number 36. So you moved, huh? Okay, all right, that's what's up. Lou, good morning, Past Potentate Louis Harper, number 8, Deputy of the Desert of Florida, Duval. Okay, who else? Gene Porter, good morning. Luscious Commanders, Zaki Court, 245, Oasis of Jarrett. I might have messed that up. I do apologize. Desert of Virginia, checking in. Thank you. All right, good morning. Noble Sarah Charity, Chief Rabbi, Magnus Temple, number 3. What up, fellow IMR? And we have First Lieutenant Eminence, daughter Williams, Al Tabari, Court number 28, Oasis of Albany, Desert of New York, aka Lemon Drop. Appreciate you coming in and showing your support this morning. All right. Now, with that being said, we appreciate y'all for coming out. Once again, stay tuned for the 4th Saturday in July. We got a surprise for you. So stay tuned for what's coming down the pipe. All right. Also, the State of the Domain should be coming out, I want to say Monday, but be on the lookout for that. If it don't come out Monday, it will be out soon. But with that being said, peace, love, and I'll see you later. Give me my outro.